And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking BTCC. Yes, no more hybrid for 2025. And let's get into the other rules that could be quite significant still for 2025. So let's get into this article here. And BTCC confirms further rule tweak. This was posted today. So the TOCA is amending the 2025 regulations. Well, updating the rules. And as I said, their groundbreaking announcement that they have 100% sustainable fuel for 2025. Massive thumbs up to TOCA. Thank you. We are not worthy. But these amendments were ratified during the annual meeting between TOCA and all the competing teams. A number of rules will carry significance to both the competitiveness of the racing and the cost of the teams, which hopefully will get lower, which hopefully means we have more teams. Remember, this year we only had 20 cars. TOCA can have 30, I think, or 32. I think it's the maximum amount. I could be wrong. Comment below, let me know. My excitement is making my head giddy with this. No hybrid. Anyway, moving on. So they talk about engine specification. So as from the 1st of April, a 2-year engine freeze will come into effect so that no future developments can be made to the homologated engines for the 25 and 26 seasons. The decision ensures that the highest level of competitiveness for each engine is going to remain, but also it's going to significantly save costs over the 2 years. So what does that mean? Well, no updating engines. That does potentially mean they had it in Formula 1 where Renault, for example, are so far back that they need to improve their engines and they had to allow basically special rules for them to improve, their engines was one talking point. That may be a talking point here. If we have completely unequal engines, you could have a bit of an issue. But I understand that hopefully they're fairly level. They were fairly level last year. And with that, is going to come a massive cost decrease along with the hybrid, which means more teams can run more cars. The BTCC has become more affordable. It's only a good thing. Next up, let's talk about the Goodyear tyre options, shall we? So for 2025, it's going to be mandatory for 3, and this could be quite significant. So for 2025, it will be mandatory for the 3 overall podium finishes in race 1 to run the hardest Goodyear tyre compound in race 2, as opposed to the previous top 10 finishers. That's interesting. So it's only the top 3. So is that then? Because especially at the beginning of the season, we got if the car that wins race 1 also wins race 2, fairly okay. That was a fairly common thing. But with this now, the top 3 podiums, they have to run the harder tyre in race 2. Yes, it is kind of manufacturing the racing somewhat. It is going to make it entertaining. And then, for example, if you're starting 4th, you finish 4th, you think, oh, actually, do I have a chance at victory here? Maybe. And I think that could be quite significant. They obviously put, with the usual exception of Thruxton, and that's due to its high-speed and abrasive track surface. Do you remember that one year? Must be like 5-6 years ago now, where everyone's tyre was going bang. I think even Adam Morgan won that race. And then they, please excuse me, and then they lowered the amount of laps I think each race had to do. All other events carry a standard and option tyre compound, with the latter being available to use in one of the 3 BTCC races. Now, the safety car procedure. This is the first time I've read this. So, new safety car procedure is going to be introduced to ensure smoother, closer, and a safer restart, to all sessions. When the safety car lights are turned off, indicating it will accelerate from the pack and return to the pit lane. All cars must cease weaving, braking, or accelerating and stay no more than 2 car lengths from the car ahead of them. Now, this is going to get into the race leader is required to maintain approximately the same speed the safety car was using when it extinguished its lights until the leader has passed the new, though this is new, a new restart point. That's going to be designated at each circuit. So it's going to, it's going to be so many meters, I'd imagine, before the start-finish line. And to be between the final corner, there you go, and the start-finish control line, after which the leader can then accelerate up to racing speed. All cars must maintain their positions with no overtaking or overlapping until they pass the green flag at the control line. Yeah, fairly standard. In the Sears Trophy, the eligibility rules for competitors in the Sears Trophy has also been tweaked. Drivers that have previously won the Sears Trophy or have scored more than one outright podium in the BTCC will not be eligible. That's interesting. So it opens up for some, people that may not even get the chance to even think about winning it now. That's interesting. Qualifying format. So grid positions for cars that do not progress from both groups for the first part of qualifying session will be changed for 2025. So as we know, we have this quick six, etc., where people go out and they end up making what is a top 10 and they make it, I think, a top 6, don't they? It is quite exciting. I really enjoyed it. But those from Group 1 who do not progress into Part 2 will line up on even numbered side of the grid, and those from Group 2 on the side, thus preventing a change in track or weather conditions, having an adverse effect on those groups and their subsequent grid positions. Okay, that's fair enough then. So that kind of makes it fair, because if it suddenly rains in one of the early qualifying sessions, all those guys are going to start at the back, aren't they? For example. So yeah, I kind of like that one. That's kind of fair. Alan Gow, the chief executive, has said, of course, the introduction of 100% sustainable fuel has been the headline change for the 25 season. But, he says, we always look at every aspect of our championship each year and see what can be improved. He said, I'm sure that these tweaks will all have a positive effect and will further add to the great racing that is the hallmark of BTCC. Yeah. So there we go. I'm very excited for the 2025 season. Are you very excited for the 2025 season? Because I certainly am. If you are excited, comment below and let us know what you're most excited about. What is the biggest rule change other than taking away the hybrid? I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be the tyres. Personally, I really think the change to the tyres is going to be really interesting and could make that race too a must watch. I mean, all races are a must watch, to be fair, in the BTCC, but a very much watch, if that's possible. So if you like what you see, give us a subscribe. That will be fantastic. And we will no doubt speak to you soon. Thank you very much and stay safe.